Hey guys, Kurt here of NK Garage again, and today is, well, it's a multiple thing day. I'm going to be going to multiple different places to find some tools. So I was on Facebook Marketplace last night, and there was a lot of good deals. So I found two different deals I'm going to go to this morning, where it's kind of like a small box of just random tools, but one is $20 and the other one is $25. So they're both kind of in the same direction. So I'm going to get in my car and go and check them out. For a little bit of money, it's probably a good deal. I don't think I can lose out. It's fun. So I'll be doing that in a second, but I want to give you guys a little update on the shed. So if you guys watch my videos frequently, you'll know that I picked up this shed a few weeks ago. I was able to straighten out the doors so far, and I got a nice latch on here that I can put a nice big lock on, lock it up. I still have to sand down the door. It's binding a little bit on the bottom, but inside I got some lights put up already. We've got these are just the cheap Chinese LED shop lights. I get them on Amazon. I got a 4-pack of these for like $60 or something. They're super quick to put in. They don't draw a lot of power, and they put out plenty of light. I mean, right now I only have 2 out of the 4 in here. I gotta put the other 2 on this side. But I got some of that blue racking that you might recognize from Nick's garage that I'm gonna be setting up a shelf in here as well. So there's that. I got my SK tools here. I'm looking for a bigger box. I found one actually. I'm hopefully gonna be getting it today. That's later in the day. It's a bigger snap-on box. It's old, it's vintage, it's definitely rusty and beat up, but it's a full-size unit and it comes with tools, and it's really cheap. So stay tuned. That'll be another video coming up soon. Yeah, I mean, I got a quick little shelf down here with just some tools and supplies, and yeah, so I'm gonna get on the road today and get these tools, and we'll show you them later and get to it. Alright guys, so what I have here is the M12 Milwaukee tire inflator tool, and I just want to show you guys this because I think they're super handy. Now this is nothing, this is not a replacement for an air compressor. This is just for, topping off your tires, but it has an internal gauge to tell you what the pressure is. You can set it to what you want. Like here I'm putting 30 psi in my tires, but it's showing that it's only at 20.5. And then you just press this button. It makes a bunch of noise, but you can walk away and just let it do all the work for you. And you go around your car, top off your tires, your lawnmower. I have a small Honda motorcycle in here. It's actually the Honda Grom. You guys might get a kick out of this, but I actually ride this around with this basket on the back and look for tag sales. So believe it or not, that's another little hobby of mine. I get to ride and tag sale at the same time. Eventually I'm going to get a bigger motorcycle. I've had this for about 4 years, I think, and it was just a cheap way to get into the hobby, and also a great way to learn just on a small little thing. These are like $3,500. So I didn't have to spend a lot of money to get into the hobby, and also it fits in the shed, which is kind of nice. So given that I don't have a garage, it's reliable, excellent on gas, and it's great. And just to show you, to get an extra 10 psi does take maybe 30 seconds a minute, but like I said, this is just a great way to maintain your tires. I wouldn't pump up tires that are completely flat, but I just want to show you guys in case you have Milwaukee stuff. I had Milwaukee M12 stuff in my shed. We've had these tire inflators for our landscape business for a few years now, and we use them all the time. Just walk around, you go to all the trailers and trucks, and sometimes it's a little bit, just a couple psi difference that you need to catch up on, and you walk around with a battery or two, and it's easy. So just a little something I want to show you guys. Hey guys, so we're back in the shed and we've got the tools laid out on the workbench. Like I said, I went to 2 different Facebook Marketplace tool hauls. Basically, they were both really cheap and they were both kind of in the same direction. So it was kind of a long drive. I spent 30 minutes to get to the first one, and then an hour from there to the next one, and then back an hour and a half. But I think it was worth it, definitely, after you guys see what I got. So let's take a look. All right, so we got two different tool hauls, of course. The one on the right, which is what you see pictured right now, was tool haul number 2. And the one on the left was tool haul number 1. Now this was the closer one to me. And basically this is everything, you know, from the, not including the screwdrivers, everything over, kind of sockets and ratchets. And that's what really started all this, is I was on Facebook and I saw a cardboard box like this. It was just taller and all this was shoved in there. And I saw all these ratchets. And for 20 bucks, well, actually it was $25, but the guy actually gave it to me for 20 bucks. I didn't even negotiate. He just was like, yeah, just give me 20 bucks. And with it was also this brand new in-box aluminum grease gun by Performance Tool. You know, it's a cheaper one, but it should pump grease, and they even gave me a tube of grease. So I was like, all right, I really can't lose here. So let's take a look at the stuff that, you know, that I really like find. First up here is this Williams speed crank handle for 1/2-inch drive. It's the Williams S15. I'm going to say that's probably because it's 15-inch. And it's a 1/2-inch drive speed crank, USA made. There's no owner's marks or anything on it, and it's in excellent shape. There's really just a little bit of dust on it. There's really no rust. It doesn't even really look like anybody really used it. It's really in awesome condition. Next up here is this Stevens Walden ink. And I come across these every once in a while, and I just like these little cases. I think they're pretty cool. I don't care too much for the Stevens Walden tools, but I mean, like I said, getting these cases like this is pretty cool. But here's the ratchet, and it's a 1/4-inch drive ratchet with a reversible switch on the head. It's actually a really nice switch. It's nice and firm. You can hear that click. And it's definitely going to need some work because it seems a little bit locked up in here. So I'm definitely going to have to pull that apart, but I don't mind. I like doing that. And it is the Walden 3150, USA made. There's also the 1/4-inch spinner in here, which is also the extension. And the writing's actually stamped into the chrome here. The Spin Tight Walden 3139. There's a couple of extensions in here. You actually got like a 6-inch one. There's a 2-inch. And then this one, I mean, it looks similar. It's just much more worn. This one's like a 4-inch. And then, of course, there's the sliding, you know, breaker bar, the little T-handle style. And there's a couple of sockets in the back. Obviously, it's not complete. There definitely is supposed to be more of them. Some of them are 8 points, some of them are 12 points. But the case is actually really nice. The ratchet looks really nice. The spinner handle looks really nice. So I was pretty happy, especially, you know, when you consider that maybe that whole case with everything included was $1. Next up, we got 2 of these S-20A Williams USA made 1/2-inch drive sliding T-handle breaker bars, also in really good shape. And I mean, who knows why he got 2 of them, but I will definitely take it. This is one of my favorite pieces from the haul just because it's so interesting, and of course it's going to need some work. It's completely locked up, but I have no fear that I will be able to I'll definitely be able to get it going. So this is a snap-on. It's called the Midget M70M, and it looks like a 1/4-inch drive, but it's actually the 9/32 drive. I believe this was one of the tools issued for the wartime, and I think they did the 9/32 drive kind of to deter people from, you know, taking home the tools, try to keep them, you know, with the toolbox. So I think that might have been their idea there. I mean, it also kind of bridges between 1/4 and 3/8. So I guess if you're going to have less tools and you kind of want to be in the middle, I don't know. Somebody out there might know more than me. Definitely leave a comment below and let us know. This one's also really cool. This is a J.H. Williams, the Super Ratchet, number B51. And also, just like some of the other tools here, probably what has not been used in a very long time, and it's just caked up with old grease. So I'm going to take this one apart as well, but I'm going to really enjoy doing this one because other than the grease, the grime, and a little bit of surface rust, it's actually in pretty good shape. So I really like that. This guy's super cool. This is a Billings ratchet. It's the Billings C-147, the Vitaloy. This is the only ratchet that actually works, like fully. And it has the interesting switch on the front. This little button switch kind of thing. It's kind of cool. Next up, this is probably another one of my favorite pieces. This Bonnie T720 3/8 drive breaker bar, and it is just immaculate shape. It's really nice, USA made, nice short little breaker bar. It clicks into the 3 different positions, and it's just really nice. And again, for what I paid, I mean, this is probably just going to go right in the toolbox. I like it. There is an SK 40953 1/4" drive breaker bar, also in very nice shape. This guy had tools, but I don't really think he used them very much. Next up here is the Williams B-115. I think it's about a 10-inch extension for 3/8 drive. Very nice. There are 2 rusty extensions here. The one on the top is Sparta, made in USA, and the bottom one is just so rusty I can't read it. And then, of course, with everything, there always comes these cheap Taiwan ratchets. We got 3 of those here, and then we got a specialty limited edition Korea. I think that's probably the best tool in the whole haul. What do you guys think? You know, I don't normally get myself a Korea. Then we got a bucket of sockets and miscellaneous stuff. There's actually a Craftsman #1 Phillips here, Western Forge, USA. It's just an unbranded wire stripper. I think this was the only socket that I noticed that was anything, you know, worth any real money. You know, not like it's worth a lot of money, but you know, worth it to somebody. This is a USA made 19mm. But most of the rest of the stuff is like just the Taiwan. There's some benchtop pro stuff in here, also made in Taiwan. Their stuff's okay. Here's the benchtop pro 1/4" spinner extension. Most of this is garbage. Here's a Crescent USA extension, but I went through it. 95% of the stuff in here is all just branded straight Taiwan, so not bad considering the price paid. $20 came with this T50 staple gun. I'll take it. And then we got the map gas. There's about a half a can of map gas in there. All right, so that concludes tool haul #1, $20. Now we go into tool haul #2, and this one, I mean, I was sold. $20. The guy, I mean, that was the listing price, was $20. And basically there was 2 cardboard boxes, just like the other one. One of them was full of sockets, and the other one was full of all these wrenches, pliers, and screwdrivers. And basically for $20, I mean, the guy said there was Snap-on and SK and Craftsman in here, and he definitely was not lying. I mean, here's a SK Wayne socket, you know, 12-point, half-inch. Let's see, this one is another SK socket, 7/8 inch, 12-point. Got an Armstrong socket here, 3/4 inch. There's some of the Snap-on ones are quite rusty, but that's okay. I'm going to clean them up. It's a Snap-on 18mm deep, 6-point, 3/8 drive. Here's another Snap-on. I think this one was a 15mm, 6-point. There's a Snap-on 1/4 inch drive socket. I need to clean it up, but you know, basically he was going through his tools and he took out all his extras and all that, and then I think he put them aside, and some of them started rusting. I mean, maybe they got wet and they flash rusted. Here's a nice Williams socket, 1 1/8 inch, 12-point. This is just a junk ratchet Taiwan, but there's definitely some good stuff in here. Powercraft USA. tons of SK. Let's see, New Britain. Williams, 7/8 inch. Here's a Matco socket. Oops. Matco 1/2 inch for 3/8 drive. Deep. Here's another SK 7/16. Condition varies, of course. Some of them are better than others, but again, you know, here's an old snap-on. There's a 7/8 inch old snap-on, 12-point 1/2 inch drive. For the price, I mean, the money's there. You know, just a couple of sockets are worth that easily. But it gets even better. Pliers weren't too interesting. A lot of rusty, crusty. I got to clean this stuff up. But, I mean, this one was kind of nice. Again, I don't know the brand yet. I got to clean it up. But it's a nice steel handle plier. Some of the needle nose might be promising. Again, I have to clean them up. There's definitely some cheaper stuff in here too. A pair of whisk, you know, tin snips. They're, you know, well worn, but maybe they're still good. Wrenches, nothing crazy here. I think this one's a Blue Point, but it's well rusty. Blue Point tappet wrench. This here, I thought it was an Industro, but it doesn't say. G-Door. 8mm. There's a couple of Craftsman ratcheting wrenches. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. 3 of them are actually metric. This is a 17-19. There's a 12-13. There's the 10-11. So yeah, that's probably 12-13. A lot of junk too. This one's Blackhawk, all rusted. Or no, this was the Blackhawk one. This one also is Blackhawk. Okay. Klein Tools adjustable wrench, made in Japan. You know, okay stuff. Up here we have an old dwell tack tester. I might just throw that out. I don't think I'm going to be using that. And then there's an old spark plug tester here. Got a USA made tap handle. Got this specialty. It's called the Kelly clamp. Patent pending. There's an old Taiwan C-clamp, Red Devil glass cutter, linoleum knife, Hide Tools razor blade scraper. This one is the Rugal razor blade knife with the hook blade in there. There's a cable stripper here. I've never used one of these, but they're interesting. Stanley surf foam form. Interesting looking pipe wrench. Called a pipe wrench, and it's got the kind of like spring clamp style. Screwdrivers. There's some bunch of all sorts here, but let's start out with the most interesting ones, and this is probably my favorite tool out of this haul. Is this wood handle snap-on, and it's the SDWP 355 USA made. I believe it's a Phillips number 3. Really good shape wood handle snap-on screwdriver. I have not actually gotten one of those before. And then we got 4 different of the hard handle black snap-on screwdrivers here. Got a Phillips number 1 over here. Got a probably like a 5/16 or 3/8 flat blade here. You know, it's used. It's got some paint on it, but it's a nice screwdriver. Small little stubby Phillips number 2. And nice little small handle flat blade. Up here, there was, you know, this one. Here's a Stanley USA made Phillips number 1. Craftsman Western Forge T25. There's, I think this is a Stanley ratcheting screwdriver. There's a couple of wood handle screwdrivers back here. It's funny, some of them are actually, like this one is Taiwan. But some of the other ones, like this one is a Mac Sabina. This next one here, unbranded, and this one is another Mac Sabina. So you get some good, you get some bad. Here's another Torx, Craftsman Torx T20. There's a quick wedge screwdriver here. It's the quick wedge, Salt Lake City, number 2356. It's in good shape, I'd say. There's this oldie here. I don't know anything about it. I gotta clean all this stuff up, but some stuff I can identify right away. Some of it is definitely gonna need to be cleaned first. Oh, this was interesting Craftsman tool. The Craftsman Professional Grip Driver. This angle moves. I think it's ratcheting. It's hard when I don't have a cameraman. Then we got a Mac flat blade that has been modified or bent, broken somehow. Exolite. Nice little Exolite flat blade that it's been ground down, but might be able to fix that. And some other odds and ends. I think I got most of the interesting stuff there, but the best part about this second tool haul is that this wasn't it. This was everything that was pictured. This is everything that I drove out there to get. And then the guy gave me a 5-gallon bucket full of this stuff. I transferred it to this bin just to help me look through it. And, well, this was all the really rusty stuff. And he just said, just take it. Just have it. It's free. There's some good and some bad in here. I mean, there's some stuff that's really rusty, but there's also some stuff that's not that bad. This is actually a Matco socket, so I'm gonna have to go through all this stuff. Here's a proto socket, 1 1/8 inch. Some of this stuff is still good. Some of it is not so good. But there's tons in here, tons of 1/2 inch drive too. This might be another snap-on socket right here. Yeah, that's a snap-on socket. So I gotta go through it. There's adapters, impact sockets, shallow sockets, deep sockets. There's probably, I'd say if I had to guesstimate, there's probably a little over 100 sockets in here. Maybe there's like 125 sockets in here, and it was free. So even if half of them are junk, if half of them are too far gone, I might be able to save a good amount of them. So I think that I totally won here. I think that for $40, totally invested. I got some pretty good stuff. I was very happy with the first tool haul. I got less stuff, but I got some nice stuff, like these ratchets and the speed crank and the T-handles and the breaker bar, grease gun, map gas, all that. Great stuff. Second tool haul. Stuff I'm going to have to clean up, but that's my hobby. This one doesn't need any cleaning at all, the snap-on. Really nice. That screwdriver is probably worth more than what I paid for the entire second tool haul alone. So definitely think it was a win. You know, it took a couple hours of my time on a Saturday, and probably $10 in gas, but I don't mind. I had fun, and I'm going to clean this stuff up. So I want to thank you guys again for watching our videos. It really means a lot to us, and if you want to help support us, check out our eBay store. The link is in the description. We try not to ask a lot of money for anything, but we do need to recoup our costs on shipping. eBay takes tons of fees, so we try our best. But if you guys need some sockets, some wrenches, a pair of pliers, I mean, check it out. Everybody from YouTube, you all get the same 10% off coupon code. It's in the link in the description. And then as well, check out NK Landscaping LLC channel. And the link is in the description as well. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day and get out there and hunt down some tools.